Alexis Felice is a passionate human services professional that finds joy in helping those in need. She personally struggled with her own journey to self love and understands the importance of self acceptance, self confidence, and self esteem in order to reach your full potential in life. In late 2016, Alexis began to work as a model for a local plus size boutique, and something inside her lit fire. Astonished with her new career in modeling, she began to discover confidence in herself and her body that she never had before. This was a perspective that she had never seen before and realized the universal need for it. She believes that loving yourself unconditionally opens the doors to a healthy mind and body. With her education in mental health psychology and her own personal experience, she hopes to encourage others to accept and love themselves. Meet Alexis Felice of Everybody Deserves Love.
Okay, cool. Hi, this is Gigi from the Plus Size Virtual Summit. I hope you are enjoying all of our amazing speakers. Remember, we're on from March 1st to March 4th of 2018. And today we have an amazing young lady, Alexa Felice. Did I say that correctly, Alexa?
Yeah, Alexa Felice.
And she is going to tell us about how everybody deserves love. So thank you for joining us.
I love that. What a great intro.
You like that intro?
Somebody give this lady applause. What?
So, Alexis, you are a ball of energy. I want you to just tell everyone about you, how you came on this journey and, self-love, and how you created the Everybody Deserves Love campaign and movement.
Well, thank you so much. I do have a lot of energy. That is for sure.
That's a good thing.
So I started modeling in the very end of 2016, and I always start off this story with my modeling journey, because if it wasn't for me starting to model, I would have never started my self-love journey.
Really?
I kind of always just went through life with this idea that I was super confident and that I loved myself and that I could just, kick ass and whatever I did, because I proved to myself that that was true. But deep down under all that, under that facade, there was a very sad individual who really just hadn't found herself just yet. I was going through the motions of life and I was doing a good job at it, but I wasn't truly happy on the inside. And when I started modeling, my confidence just skyrocketed, and I started surrounding myself with all these body positive people, and these people that really told me that, really allowed me to see that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and diversity makes us wonderful. And I never had that perspective, growing up. I never was really taught that. So to see that, the community of plus size women, especially in the modeling industry, everyone is so diverse, and they're, different sizes and shapes and skin colors. And I was like, wow, I'm allowed to love myself even though I'm fat? Wait,
yes,
fat?
Yes.
I'm like, wait, fat isn't a bad word? Like, I'm allowed to be fat and use it as a good thing? Like,
yes.
It was so eye-opening for me. Like, oh my God, this whole time, my whole life, I've been like running away from this word, and or this idea of this terrible person who consumed fat, who was fat. And I was always fat. I have a twin sister who is a size. I do, and she's a size 0, soaking wet.
Interesting.
Gorgeous as ever, but I've just never looked like her. We've never had that same genetic marker as far as our size, or even our skin color is different. She's really tan, so I always wanted to be tan and thin like my sister. And it wasn't until I started modeling until I realized that I'm beautiful, that I just because I'm different than her, and just because I'm different than other people, and I'm not a size 0, I'm still gorgeous. And so I learned that every body deserves love. It doesn't matter what type of body you had. Your body is special to you, and it's only when you get, and you have to love it through its good times and its bad times, through your fat days and your skinny days and your good days and your bad days, or whatever you want to compare it to, whatever your standard is. And so that's
a lot of thinner, quote unquote, women are not happy with their bodies either.
Oh, absolutely. And my sister will be the first one to tell you that even though she's a size 0, she still has a lot of body image issues. a lot, you know?
Yeah,
It
so
just
it's really not, yeah.
yeah, just because you're skinny doesn't mean that you are 100% confident, you know? And this was all new to me. This whole idea, this whole conversation has just never been told before. I never had this conversation with anybody. So throughout my journey, with modeling, I was learning my self-love journey as well. And so I started Everybody Deserves Love. I learned very quickly that this is such a need. You know, so many people are similar to me, and similar in the fact that they grew up fat, or they grew up skinny, or they just grew up with insecurities. It didn't matter what they were, you know? And they deserve to understand that, and they deserve to know that they deserve love. They deserve to love themselves. They deserve to be loved by others, and they shouldn't be judged by their appearance. And that's what our mission is, at Everybody Deserves Love, is to just encourage people to love themselves for who they are, without anyone else's influence, without anyone else's opinions bringing you down. You deserve to love yourself just as you are, as how God made you. And this year and so this year was my goal to make it an official nonprofit. Last year it was just a movement. It was a hashtag. It was an Instagram. And so after I graduated from college this year,
congratulations.
Thank you. I was like, this has to be real. Like, I need to really put my time and effort into making this a thing. Like, this has to be a nonprofit. There is a need for this, even though it's a mental health need. There's no organization that's doing this. There's no one out there to teach our kids and, you know, our community that they're beautiful, and that they deserve to be loved, and they deserve to love themselves over anything. And so I was like, whose job is that? Is it your parents?
Right.
Because my parents didn't really teach that to me. You know, is it our teachers? Is it our teachers?
I think it's a community effort, to be perfectly honest. It's everyone. But a lot of times, if they're not dealing with, they don't know how to help you deal with that. You know, if you have a parent that is maybe not a fuller figure woman or a larger man, he or she may not understand what you're going through and how to help you through this and navigate, especially, you know, especially when you have, which is interesting, you have a twin and you guys have totally different body types. So that goes to show you it's not, you know, that you're just sitting there eating bonbons on the couch.
I always say that.
It's our genetic makeup is so different. I mean, and I hate that term. My question to you is, were you bullied in high school, and were you always being compared to your twin sister because she was thinner than you were?
Always. I was always being compared to my sister, even when my family swears, oh, we always treated you guys equally, you know? And I'm like, you tried. But sometimes it was just because it was in your face, you know? The comparison was just in my face every day. We'd go shopping, you know, we'd go shopping with the family, and I could shop at 2 stores at the mall, and my sister's going into every store. And, you know, or she could eat everything down to the shoes that I wore, the bracelets that I have to wear, you know, my necklaces. I can't wear every choker that you see that are super fashionable nowadays, like because I'm bigger. And that was always in my face when I was with her, because I would see her getting dressed in these cute little outfits, and you know, the industry wasn't like it is now, where we at least have some options. You know, my option was
exactly.
And so the comparison was always there, always in the back of my mind. And I can tell now that I'm older that it was more internal comparison than anything. Like, I was doing it to myself. You know, my parents tried so hard not to compare, but it was in front of my face. It was something I always had to think of. You know, we'd go to dinner and my sister would order a double cheeseburger and fries, and I'm looking at her like, just by me smelling the burger right now, I'm gaining weight. Like, and it's just our genetics, you know? Yeah. And in school, she was always the pretty sister. She was always the pretty one. You know, all the boys loved her, and she was always so shy and quiet. And it's not like she's not like me as far as my outgoing personality.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, she was very to herself. She wasn't even interested in boys, but everybody was interested in her. And I just got I was like the smart sister, or like the successful one. I was the good child because I always had to overcompensate for the fact that I wasn't getting the attention I wanted from other parts of my high school life. So
right. That's amazing. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's different when you have friends and they go home and you don't see them, or if you don't want to be bothered with them. But to have not only a sister but a twin, and you're seeing each other every day, and thank God that you have turned out to be the outgoing person that you are in helping others, because to be perfectly honest, it could have totally gone in a bad direction. I mean, you could have become an introvert and and kind of dumbed down and become not the positive person you are. It even started in this movement. So tell us, how do you help others learn to love themselves? Like, what kind of things or activities or events does Everybody Deserves Love produce to help women, young girls, boys with this problem?
Right. Well, I personally use my platform on the internet. And I, of course, my voice anywhere I go, anywhere, even at my gym that I go to, because I actively work out. I'm always talking about just loving yourself and, working on your body because you love it, not because you hate it. And, I'm always verbally expressing that. I always use my mouth as a platform, but mostly on the internet is the way I get, the internet is the way I get the word out. And you see all these different plus size models and Instagrammers and bloggers, or whatever you want to call them, influencers. And, everyone's preaching body positivity in their own different way. But for me, it really is about the kids. Like, I want to get to, I really want to reach a generation with Everybody Deserves Love that is coming up next. I want to reach the generation that I was in when I really, really needed somebody to tell me that you're amazing.
Right.
You are loved. You're beautiful. And I recently had an event. It was a collaboration with Rika Dance in Buena Park. It was Everybody Deserves Love. It was Everybody Deserves Love first self-love hip-hop dance workshop. And so I thought it would be a really good way to get the community that we needed to come in, hip-hop style dance, really fun, cultural. I also used to hip-hop dance as a kid, so it has a special place in my heart. And then also bring in self-love. So we did a few different programs within the workshop, just little activities that had to teach, teach those concepts: self-confidence, self-esteem, bullying, not judging a book by its cover. We did all those things. And then towards the end of the event, we did the hip hop dancing, the choreo. So we ended on a really light, fun note, and the impact was remarkable.
Amazing. So that means you're going to have to really do more of that because that's so needed. And I can imagine the kids, like, what were their ages?
So this dance workshop was ages 11 to 18, and we did some interviews at the end of the dance workshop, and it was I don't want to get emotional. I just watched them. They just came through, and it's so powerful to see what one class. Oh gosh, here I go. I'm getting emotional. What one time with these kids, just one time with these kids, and they got it. Just one conversation about loving themselves and understanding that they're worthy and that they're smart, and turning all these positive turning all these negative self-talk into positive self-talk and positive affirmations with these kids. Like, we had one kid who was saying, we were talking about all the things we're good at. We wanted the kids to go around and tell the other kids what they're good at, because it's important to acknowledge the things they're good at. And kids don't get an opportunity to do that enough. And so one of the kids is like, I'm good at getting in trouble. And I was like, okay. It's like, how do we turn that around? So everybody in the group was laughing. And so I told him, you're funny. Instead of saying you get in trouble all the time, how about you say you have a sense of humor? This is what comedians do in real life. They kind of make fun of themselves and they make money doing it.
They sure do.
But just to switch that mindset, just to teach him that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, just to get their mindset on the positive side of things instead of the negative sides of things. And it was working, to teach them that their flaws make them beautiful. And that's what it's all about for me. It's all about changing the lives of these kids and letting them know that they are so incredible, and that they need to see that within themselves before anyone else can see that. Or maybe people around them already see that, but as adults, no one else will love you as much as you love yourself, and that should always be the foundation. And so that's really the goal for me, is to do like all my modeling. If it doesn't matter if I'm running a show, if I'm on a campaign, if I'm working as a model or the runway, or I'm on like a really great photo shoot, I could be on Oprah, but the goal for me will always be everybody deserves love. Like that's where my heart and my passion lies.
And I think that one event that you did, I imagine that it made a great difference. And even though it's the one event, I think it gave them a foundation to, like, when they go to school. Well, today was a holiday. I don't know if you guys had a holiday, or the next day, they're probably going to walk a little taller. They're going to feel a little bit more empowered. And I think we need more of that, because our kids are where the future is going. So I think you're totally on the right path with this Everybody Deserves Love, because I'm so tired of hearing these stories of these young people killing themselves, who are being bullied, and looking at just the pictures, and these aren't even, the fuller figured, larger kids. It's terrible. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and you're right. Everybody deserves love. I love, even though it's a hashtag, I love the journey that you're on now. So where do you want to take this? Because I think you are off to an amazing start. What are your goals for Everybody Deserves? Like big is, because your personality is big. I just know you're going to do big things. Where do you ultimately want to go?
Oh man, where do I want to go with this? Everybody Deserves Love right now is being 100% funded by my own pockets. And
okay.
I am a struggling model, struggling business owner, recent college student. So, I mean, right now I'm working with what I have, and I've already accomplished so much. So if I just had the proper funding, if I just got enough grants, enough support, financially, I will take care of the rest. I am that motivated, and I really want to take this. I want to everywhere. I want to travel and do workshops. I want to own a building similar to like a Boys and Girls Club. I would love to have just a building full of different opportunities for kids to come and express their talents and what makes them themselves. We can have self-love classes. We can have dance classes. We can have language classes. We can just have different opportunities for them to come in and just be in a safe space where they understand that everybody in that building recognizes their individuality, basically, and their diversity, and that they acknowledge it, they accept it, and they love it. And you can't go everywhere in this world right now and do that. You can't really go anywhere and do that.
Right.
Sometimes you can't even be in your own home and feel accepted. So
right.
I want to offer that place. I want to get like-minded individuals to help me run an organization that's touching the lives of hundreds, millions. Like that's my goal. I don't want to stop. I don't imagine me stopping anytime soon. I want to take this to.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I just see this is, you've gone to a great start, and I just think, now that you have officially, a nonprofit, I think, just like I said, looking at grants, I'm sure there are many out there, and it does take some time to find, or finding that person who can help you with that grant writing. But I think you start researching that, those grants for that, because this is such an issue with their young people, and as they call overweight and obesity and children and teens. I think you definitely have a wonderful platform, and if I can help you in any way, just let me know. I'm good at marketing and coming up ideas, but maybe even just starting to have different charter memberships in different states for Everybody Deserves Love, and then there can be a great fundraising effort, whether it be GoFundMe, a crowdfunding. But I think what you're doing, just keep doing it, and find like partners, that are interested in what you're doing with the children, whether it be school, some of these youth organizations, some of these, you're out there in Cali, stars galore, because I think we need it, to love each other and love ourselves, especially with so much going on. And unfortunately, the killing that we just had in Florida, it just hurts my heart. It just hurts my heart. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that stems from people not, like you said, loving themselves.
I got my degree. I have recently received my degree in human services, and my track is mental, and my minor is psychology. So, though I am not a licensed social worker or psychologist, I've had a great deal of education in the mental health field. And I truly believe, with my education and my personal experience, that success starts with self-love. And that's our motto at Everybody Deserves Love. That success really starts when you truly love yourself inside and out. And I want people to see how their lives can be so much better by simply liking who they are, loving who they are, accepting who they are. And I feel like if we were just to take a little bit of time every day to just to be kind to other people and let them know that we see them, acknowledge them, telling people that they're amazing. I recently started to tell my mom, that you are beautiful. I don't ever tell my mom she's beautiful. I mean, it's not like a conversation that comes up, It's a simple phrase that we just don't use enough. And I told her that the other day. I was like, do you know that you're so beautiful? And she instantly started crying. She's a little emotional mess like I am. So, but she instantly started crying, and she's just like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that to me in years, And you just that simple phrase, just telling kids that they're smart, looking them in the eye, telling your neighbor that they're noticed, when you're in an elevator and you're going up 10 floors and you're standing next to this man who's looking straight ahead because God forbid he makes eye contact, create a conversation, create a conversation, knock down those barriers, those are the things that are going to make a difference. The shootings that are happening, the violence that are happening. I live in a really good neighborhood, and there's been a lot of stuff going on around here as well. And I think it's just because people are lost, people are broken, and as a community, as a human, it's our obligation to help these people, and not to say people aren't at fault, of course. But I think that deep down inside every single person, there's an opportunity to be better. And
sometimes it's just as simple as a smile. I know when I was in a grocery store earlier today, and everyone is in their own world, and then there was an older gentleman, and he smiled at me and I smiled back, and he said, it's so nice to see people smile at each other. And I was like, wow, something that's so normal, or what I think is normal, but we're so, unfortunately, a lot of times our technology and everything have gotten us to a place where we're so focused, where heads are down, no one's talking to each other. Even I have a company that is in mobile marketing, so I'm always looking around when I go. And I went to New York. We went with a client, and I'm in a restaurant, and I'm looking around, and it's just amazing to see no one's really talking to each other. They're on their phones. I'm like, this is
true. I hate going to restaurants and seeing people on dates and they're on their phone. I'm like,
oh my God, to me that's so rude.
Why did you just stay home? Order takeout.
And it was the majority of people, and I'm like, nobody's talking to each other. It was just like, but we have to break that cycle, because even our kids, they don't know how to communicate with each other, because they rather, I've seen it, I have nieces and nephews and some younger people. I'm like, okay, you're talking to them on Xbox, but you can't have a conversation and go outside and play. What's wrong with that? It's just, we have to break the cycle.
It drives me bonkers when I walk into a room, or even like when I go to like a family event and I see my little cousins on their iPad. They're all sitting in a circle, but on their iPads or like on their parents' phones. And I'm like, I just want to go up to them and be like, get off that.
Just take it.
I'm right now to socialize with your cousins. You know what I mean?
But I think it's up to us as adults. We have to break that cycle. As parents, we have to, as parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents, we have to say, hey, everybody at the door, put your phone in the little case, your iPad or whatever, and let's just talk to each other. Imagine that. Because I don't think kids dream anymore. When you ask them what's their dream, and they're like, I don't know someone's like, I don't know what's that. And that goes to, they don't know how to, because when you go to a business work, you can't be on your phone all day when you go working. And so they don't know how to communicate. So I think that will, I think your mission will definitely change that as well. Because if not, we're really going to be in bad shape if we don't get this technology put away sometimes.
Right. I'm trying.
Don't stop trying. Don't stop trying.
Even I have to tell myself at the end, like the night, if it'll be like 8 p.m. and I'm like, put away your phone, turn it on silent. It doesn't, even if it's your best friend, just be without your phone for like a couple hours before bed. Like, you can do it.
I started, what I started doing, and because I'm in the mobile, and I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and Android, I'm always connected to something. And I made myself, I said, okay. I said, every night before I go to bed, I have a Bible app on my phone. I want to read something. And it's called the YouVersion Bible app. It has all different kinds of plans. I said, the first thing when I get up in the morning, I'm going to do the same. Because I have to, and you have to give, whatever religion you are, give God some love, talk to him, just have a conversation and kind of just focus. Because if you get up and the first thing you grab is your phone and you're opening, in the news, you really, if you don't have a spiritual foundation, you are going to be totally messed up, because it's depressing. You look at the news, it's depressing. And we're also becoming desensitized to what's happening. Like they were talking about the shooting, like, okay. And I was surprised to hear that there was 18 shootings in 2018. I'm like, well, when did that happen? So, we have to get focused, and you have to make an effort. Yeah, we have to make an effort to do it. Yeah. So when are you going to continue to kind of do the event that you did with the kids? So in the future, I do a couple of more, and because I think that's amazing.
Yeah, as of right now, we don't have any official programs. That's kind of one of the things that we are developing. I have a very small little team that has an input on what I do with Everybody Deserves Love, but I'm really always open to suggestions. I'm always open to ideas. I'm always willing to travel. And, partnering up with Rika Dance, she has a very similar mindset. Anna Rika is the owner of the dance company, and it's a very similar mindset as Everybody Deserves Love. And she saw us and she was like, I love this. Let's work together. Let's do something. Let's make a change. And I'm like, yes, like, let's do it. And so,
awesome.
In a month. And, I'm going to keep trying different forms of workshops and different classes or activities or events to see what works and what brings in the most success, that, what helps us reach our goals the most. And of course, it's not only going to be for kids, it's for adults as well. We had a self-love Beachbody event.
Cool.
Yeah, we had it last summer and it was great. We had like 200 people show up and it was free. You just had to, it was free. There was just like an option to donate. There's always an option to donate. But I had so many awesome giveaways from different brands that donated. Like people that I've worked with in modeling, they sent me different things to auction off to all these women, and some men came too. And the feedback for that event was great too, because the women felt like they could go to the beach without being judged. They could wear the bikini and not have to worry about what other people were thinking of them, or if anyone, was staring at them, because there was other women that looked just like them. They were all beautiful, completely normal, average women. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't have to hold ourselves to this ridiculous standard. And I want to keep
freeing.
Yes, and it's super freeing. And I want to have more events like this to show people that I'm not going to stop at one success. Like Alexa Phelece is going to be known for Everybody Deserves Love and modeling, because she's pretty good at that too. But
right, I saw. I keep up with your Instagram.
Thank you. Don't get me wrong, I love modeling. But again, the whole purpose is I love the fact that I get to represent a wonderful group of women that have never been represented before.
That's true.
I am a true plus size woman, and I say with pride now. I used to, like cringe at the thought of that I was not in, an extra large. I was like over the hill on the plus size side of things. And I used to cringe like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm plus size. And now I say it proudly, and I say it in front of people, and because I get to represent an amazing group of women that have never been seen before in the media. So I want to keep doing that, because that's how I'm going to reach the masses too, is being in front of the TV in amazing conferences like this, being in,
Yes.
Talking, using my voice as a platform. That's another way to get this out, and I'm not going to stop.
Right. And that was one reason why I decided to do this, because I've been in the plus size industry as an advocate for 20 years, and it's amazing, but I wanted to do something more fashion and modeling. I love it, but there's so many women that do different things. We have fitness professionals, you with your organization. We even have a domestic violence survivor, because you really never know what women who may be watching this are going through, or suffering in silence, or may need to see a businesswoman who opened a boutique, and it's a plus size boutique in Chicago. Like, wow, she did that. Maybe I can do that. So it was important to me to bring all these people together. And so I just been blessed that everyone was like, yeah, they said yes. And, we're going full steam ahead, and I think it's going to be wonderful. And I thank you for saying yes as well.
Yes, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on here, and I hope that anybody and everybody that has any questions for me, or has any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, they want to partner, please reach out to me, because I'm all about, working together to create that change.
Awesome. So we will have all Alexa's information here on the page, all her contact information, her website. So you can definitely touch base. If you, or no matter where you are, if you're interested in partnering with her, or you may have a youth group in your area who may be interested in what she has, let's just come together as a community. We are so powerful, and we need each other to make things happen.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you again, Alexa, for coming on during this time and telling us about your campaign. It's amazing. I love it. And whatever way that plus size events can help you, we have the app. So when you're having these events, shoot me an email and let me know, and we'll put it on there, and tell people about it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything.
You're so welcome. And maybe one day when I'm out in LA, I will check you out.
Where are you located?
I'm actually on the East Coast. I'm in the Washington, D.C. area.
Oh, I may just have to come to D.C.
And actually, one of our speakers, she's actually a curvy plus size spinning instructor out in LA, has been for 15 years. Have you ever done spinning?
No, but I've taken like one spin class at my gym, and it was intense.
Yes, I've done it one time.
Okay. It was hard.
Just once. Yes, and it was my first time, and I had the nerve to take an 1.5-hour class. I was out there visiting her, and I wanted to kill her afterwards. I was like, you've got to be kidding. My behind felt like it didn't belong to me, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But I want to just thank you again for taking your time out. Again, Alexa's information is available on this page, and please reach out to her if you're interested in, her campaign. Everybody deserves love, and I just want to thank you again. Keep doing what you're doing. And I know 2018 is going to be amazing for you and your company.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.
Yes. Talk soon. Keep me posted on when it's going to come out.
Definitely.